Over the next 100 years, there will be plenty of interesting things to see and photograph in the night sky. In this video, I'm going to cover the astronomical events that I am the most excited about as a full-time astrophotographer. First up, later this year, we may get the chance to see and photograph a very special comet. It's an interstellar comet, meaning one that came from a different star system. It has the name 3I Atlas. 3I is short for the third interstellar object discovered, and Atlas is the project that discovered it. Atlas is our early warning system for finding objects, space objects like asteroids that could potentially impact Earth. What's really cool about 3I Atlas is we found it quite early compared to the first two interstellar objects, and this will give astronomers more time to photograph it and hopefully understand more about it. And I'm personally excited for later this year because the comet will be much closer to the sun, making it brighter. It should be brightest in late October, but for me here in New Hampshire, it looks like the best time to try to photograph it will be the early mornings around November's new moon, which is on November 20th, 2025. At this time for me, the comet's going to be rising around 2:30 a.m. in the east, and it's predicted to be around magnitude 10.8. If that prediction holds, it will be visible with binoculars or a telescope and definitely possible to photograph it with amateur equipment. Next year, on August 12th, 2026, we'll have the first total solar eclipse since the one on April 8th, 2024, which went through the US, and I was able to capture close to home here in Vermont. Total solar eclipses are definitely worth traveling to see, and for the 2026 total solar eclipse, I plan to view it from a boat in the North Atlantic Ocean, but the path of totality for this eclipse will also go through Spain and Iceland if you want to be on land. The totality period for the 2026 eclipse is fairly short, with a maximum duration of 2 minutes 18 seconds from the optimal spot in Iceland. However, 1 year later, on August 2nd, 2027, we'll have the longest total solar eclipse for the rest of the century at 6 minutes 23 seconds from the optimal spot. And that optimal spot where you can get a 6-minute, 23-second totality is the ancient city of Luxor in Egypt. So, of course, there are already many tours fully booked headed to Egypt to see this eclipse. There may be still tours available. I do still see them being advertised. Other than Egypt, the path of totality for this eclipse will go through southern Spain, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Saudi Arabia, and Yemen. Okay, we've done the next two total solar eclipses, and after these next two, there are 68 more in the next 100 years. And I could go through all of them, because for me, total solar eclipses are the ultimate astronomical event to witness. So any of these eclipses would be worth traveling to see. But let me just quickly mention the very next one after 2027, which is on July 22nd, 2028. This one starts in the Indian Ocean, going through some small islands, then a very nice path through Australia and New Zealand. And two big things to say about this one. One, there's a very high likelihood for clear skies, especially in Australia, which is always something to consider with an eclipse trip. And two, this eclipse goes right through the biggest city in Australia, Sydney, and totality will last almost 4 minutes in Sydney. Okay, moving on to April 13th, 2029. On this day, we will have the closest known pass of a city-killer-sized asteroid. This asteroid is named Apophis, and it will not impact the Earth, but it will come closer to us than our geostationary satellites in orbit. Astronomers at the European Space Agency have calculated an asteroid this big only gets this close to Earth about every 5 to 10,000 years. It is predicted to be a naked eye object if you're in the right place on Earth with clear, fairly dark skies. So if you want to see this one, it looks like the best place to view it will be this area of the world. This one won't be spectacular to witness like a total solar eclipse. It will basically just look like a satellite. But if you want bragging rights to say you saw Apophis naked eye, you will have that opportunity in 2029. And you could photograph it, but it won't be that interesting as it'll only be 2 arc seconds across at closest pass. So even with a big amateur telescope, you won't really resolve any detail of the asteroid. Okay, taking a bigger jump in time now to 2034 and 2035, we have a prediction for a meteor storm with a number of possible outbursts from the annual Leonids meteor shower predicted. This one is not as certain as the other events I've covered so far, but our yearly meteor showers will sometimes have outbursts as a more dense area of the comet debris stream hits the Earth's atmosphere, causing all the meteors. And in 1833, for example, the Leonids put on a spectacular show. It's estimated that 100,000 meteors per hour, or 27 meteors per second, could be seen on the night of November 12th, 1833 from North America. The meteor storms in November 2034 and November 2035 probably won't be anywhere near that, but even seeing several hundred meteors per hour will be pretty awesome, considering the Leonids typically only produces about 15 visible meteors per hour on a normal year. Okay, jumping ahead quite a bit to 2061, we'll have the return of Halley's Comet. Halley's Comet is a very special comet as its period is pretty short for a comet. Halley's Comet returns for a close pass approximately every 75 years. The last pass in 1986 wasn't a good one as the sun was in the way most of the time, but in 2061 it will be on the same side of the sun as the Earth, and so we should be able to see it much better. And so if you're still alive in the summer of 2061, you'll definitely want to look for this comet, which has a very long recorded history of observation dating back to 240 BC when it was first seen by Chinese astronomers, at least in written history. The final couple events I'll talk about are rare planetary occultations, when one planet transits in front of another from our point of view. And two that caught my eye will take place in 2079 and 2123. And I actually found these in an article in an old issue of Sky and Telescope from 1979 and found that the calculations that Stephen Albers made using a program he wrote on punch cards were still right on. Today, we can, of course, visualize these things with a free software called Stellarium. In 2079, on August 11th at 0130 Universal Time, it will be an occultation of Mercury and Mars, with Mercury completely covering Mars, and it will take place over about 2.5 minutes. This one will be visible on the eastern horizon just before sunrise from much of the Middle East. Turkey, for instance, would be a great place to catch this event. And you would want a telescope to see it, as Mars and Mercury have a pretty small apparent size, so you would need some good magnification to see this one. Okay, and our final event to round this out, if you happen to be alive in 2123, which I probably won't be, there is another neat planetary occultation, this time between Venus and Jupiter. Using Stellarium, it seems that this one will be visible across most of North and South America as a mid-morning event. So you would be observing it during the day, which means much lower contrast because you're looking through the atmosphere that's lit up by the sun. But I think it should still be possible because it's happening about 18 degrees elongation away from the sun, which should be just enough out of the sun's glare to see and or photograph this with the right telescope and clear, transparent skies. Using Stellarium, it looks like it will take about 15 minutes for Venus to cross the full width of Jupiter, so it's a nice long show for those lucky enough to see it. If this video got you excited about astronomy and astrophotography, but you don't want to wait for these rare events to come about, check out my Patreon, where this month's bonus video covers what to photograph in the night sky over the next few months. I cover both the Northern Hemisphere and the Southern Hemisphere, and include suggestions for beginners and more advanced amateurs alike. To access that video, you can sign up starting at just $1 per month at patreon.com/nebulaphotos. And your membership includes an exclusive bonus video every month and the full archive of past bonus videos, as well as a monthly imaging contest organized on Discord, a monthly Zoom call where you can ask questions, one-on-one messaging support with me, and more perks, like all my videos ad-free is available at higher tiers. So again, this is all at patreon.com/nebulaphotos, and I hope to see you over there. Till next time, this has been Nico Carver, Clear Skies.
Late night shadows on my wall, fingers tracing lines that fall. The air is thick, it holds its breath, quiet whispers, life and death, whispers in the dark. They call my name, soft and steady, never the same. A heartbeat lost, a rhythm found, whispers in the dark, no louder sound. Street light flickers, time stands still. A ghostly dance against my will. The city hums, a low refrain. Each note a memory, each note a chain. Whispers in the dark, they call my name. Soft and steady, never the same. A heartbeat lost, a rhythm found. Whispers in the dark, no louder sound. Street light flickers, time stands still. A ghostly dance